Hello everyone, Maddie from Hello Interloper here with the latest in Defender of Texel news. There's not going to be a Blood Brothers video today, unfortunately, just because I'm sick, and actually that's the reason why this video has been delayed, and I'm going to the doctor tomorrow, so hopefully I'll be all better and be able to make a Blood Brothers video as soon as possible. For now, I'm going to be going over the Siege event number 2 in Defender of Texel. I am a few days late with this, but granted that I know a little more about this event than I did the first day, so hopefully this video will be a little more useful. So basically, this is a reimagining of the Siege event. I know a lot of people were very upset with the first Siege event, only because it was kind of rough. They didn't exactly have a lot of goals, per se, to keep people going. It was kind of drawn on and kind of boring. But this time they made things a little more exciting and kind of increased the whole teamwork aspect of it. So of course we do have new fighters. I'll be going over that in just a bit. First of all, let's go over the new sequencing for this. So rather than 3 different towers, we have now 1 tower. And it is mob versus mob. You will be fighting as another group. So let's see what this looks like here. Okay, so unfortunately my BlueStacks has not updated the app, so unfortunately it's got these little things showing 3 different towers. There is only 1 tower right now. And what basically is you fight the sentries, and there is a little bit of a difference here. Rather than 3 different buildings, there are 3 different paths. There is, if I click here, Easy Street, which will be the easiest matchups here. There's Beaten Path, and there's Rocky Road, which will be the toughest one. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit how this works. I'm going to attempt to do Beaten Path, just because Rocky Road has gotten extremely tough for the time being. So I'm just going to use No Edge here. So the way this works is it's 3 back-to-back fights, and unfortunately it's taking a little while to load because I don't know, BlueStacks is really slow. So let's work our magic here, shall we? Oh, come on. We're really gonna be that stubborn? There we go. So right now we got all the cooldowns and everything, and one thing that I'm not really sure if they had it in the first incarnation of the Siege event, but all cooldowns carry over, all health carries over from fight to fight. And oh, there goes one of my dudes. So you can kind of time it. If you looked at the screen before that shows which opponents are next, you can kind of time it so your cooldowns are ready for when you have a really tough opponent. And that's kind of a good way how to, finish this up well, rather than blowing everything on an easy opponent. This is going to be kind of hard. I don't like, what is it called? No, I didn't want to do that. It's kind of hard to control it on here. I don't like fighting that guy with Squall. And, oh, he's level 80. That's gonna be fun. Probably gonna go down on this one, just because that seems to be the trend whenever I fight that dude. But yeah, so there is a little bit more strategy to this, because you can time your cooldowns correctly. Oh good, he's dead. So, that's pretty nice. And also, it's good because you can kind of control how many points you get. If you're ready for, the Rocky Road, you can check it. If something's too hard, you can switch difficulties. But based on what path you choose, you'll get a different amount of points. And really, there isn't that big of a difference. I mean, if you have a good team and, God forbid, you can't do Rocky Road once, you have to go the normal path, beaten path, it won't be that bad an impact on the points. So that's kind of refreshing to know that even if it's not perfect, that's fine. And there currently is a little bit of a glitch, and I don't know if it was fixed yet, but someone said that if you get into a hard fight with a cooldown on the opposite team being ready, you can try to restart Defender of Texel, and their cooldowns might switch. But of course, if it's an instant cooldown like preempt, there's nothing you can really do about it. But maybe somebody with Squall or something, you just restart your dot by closing the app, then terminating it. And I don't really know how to do that on Android, but on an iPhone or iPod, double-click home screen until it shows all your apps, and then you hold and exit out. So once you have all the sentries down, it's then that you actually get to attack the what is it called? The tower. Now, the tower does switch. Depending on how many towers your team has taken down, it actually switches type and level. And when I say type, it'll be called, well, this one is called like Gilded Castle or Gilded something. Gilded being referring to the fact that it's gold, but there will be Gilded whatever 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, depending on how many your team has taken down. And in the beginning, you will have crystal castles occasionally, which is a blue version. Now, the crystal castle, pretty much the consensus among most teams is on the crystal castle only use 1 BP. And the reason behind that is because the more people who get a hit on it, the higher the salvo, and the salvo is when team members hit it in quick succession. So if you do use 3 BP, you can actually kill the castle without getting a high salvo, which means a lower point multiplier. So usually, crystal, everybody uses 1 BP, so the most people can get their hits in. And the nice part is for every crystal castle you kill, you get 5 Nux bits. So it's kind of like an added awesome bonus. So if you do see a crystal castle, do participate in it and try to use 1 BP because it is the courteous thing to do. Now, meanwhile, the Gilded Castles, you want to take those down as fast as possible, although, of course, a salvo would be nice, but it's not, that important because there's so many of them, and really most people just want to get to the Crystal Castle so they can replenish their Nux bits. Okay, so that's kind of how the mechanics of this one works, and as I said before, my app here is broken. This shouldn't be there, and these swirls shouldn't be there. There's only 1 castle that's left over from the previous one. I don't know why. So anyway, that's pretty much all you really need to know about the mechanics of this event. Now I'm going to be going over the fighters and different changes here. But first of all, there is, unfortunately it doesn't show here. I can get to it on the game itself. There is a promotion going on, and I'll show you it quickly because you definitely do not want to miss it. In addition to the Facebook Connect going now on iOS, not only Android, there is also the 3 million defenders promotion here, and celebrating 3 million defenders, it is a summoning sort of thing and a login bonus at the same time. And this is really nice because you don't get Tixite, which was a different type of crystal that you can use to summon new fighters. You get a Benunu, which can be extremely useful in leveling up your fighters and also leveling up fighters that you're going to be using for super fusion. So what I usually do is when I have a bunch of people to summon, I usually summon the person who has been on most recently, just because I want to help my fellow players, call them over, say, hey, there's something new going on in this game, so you've been on, maybe a week ago, come back. And hopefully they'll come back and enjoy the game. So that's what I usually do, and you can do 5 every day. And then there's a login promotion where you get the Daybreak Cask, which will probably show up in the next special dungeon. At least I'm assuming it, because you get 2 uncommons and then a rare. And so if it is an evolving one, we'll probably see it in the next event, which should be special dungeon. I don't really know if they're changing their rotation that much, but of course you also get more Benunus, which is always a welcome surprise. So that's pretty much the promotion going on. Okay, so now for the most important part of all, the fighters. There are edge fighters in this thing here, and there has been a reformatting of the wiki, so bear with me if this doesn't look the same as most of my other videos. But this is kind of the star of the show and what the current event build is for. It's Azuna, which is basically a geisha riding on a different Enzuna. So it's kind of interesting. It is evolving into a legendary, but what's really interesting about this is that not only it changes abilities, but it changes types from a guru into a rogue. And I guess because she's riding on Enzuna, which is also a rogue, and changes the stats and everything, and has a new ability called Garland All, which kind of pretty much seems to be a thing that looks like well, not exactly looks like, but it seems to have the same mechanics as Squall. It attacks everybody with beautiful cherry blossoms and stuff like that. So that's basically all you really need to know about her, but she has the highest edge from what I believe, and you can get her through a special build called the Milady build. And, oh, I almost forgot. There was a promotion given out recently, and some people have received free dot coins. So if you have not checked the game yet, you might want to because you might have been gifted some free dot coins. I got gifted 900 dot coins, which I'm going to save because usually if I do have any gift cards or so on and so forth that I can use on iTunes, I will usually spend it on the special dungeons because in the second day of, let's say, we have earth, lightning, and water. On the second day rotation of that, or the second rotation of it, not second day, they actually have a deal where you get 10 glue and 10 Aja, leaves, whatever, for 100, which is the equivalent of $1. And that's a great deal because most people are clamoring for glue, so you get some great trade fodder only for $1. Definitely a good deal, and you can only do that once a day during special dungeons. So that's what I'm saving mine for, personally. I'm not going to be wasting it on a build just because it's such an astronomically low chance that I'll actually get something that's actually worth even, 1 bidders on the trade. Bizarre. So, yeah, that's enough of her. Got this dude, and in case you haven't been reading all the little tiny comments on each of the guys here, Ishpa is kind of important. Ishpa says a lot of things in the little comments on certain fighters. I believe Ishpa even commented on Tishpak. So, nice that we finally see this wise man here. So, basically, he's in some kind of crazy boat contraption. But he has Broadside, which was also given to the Crab legendary. And basically it's an exo-based attack, so I guess these are probably exo guns that are mounted on here. But he is a warlock, which is a little disappointing. I was kind of hoping something a little more defensive. Very low defense for, any kind of fighter, so it's a little disappointing. But low agility, but high wisdom and attack. Pretty good HP for a warlock, thank goodness. So, yeah, I mean, it's cool, but I don't really know how useful it's going to be, given that, champs definitely have a higher sort of usage. They have high attack and they have good, long-lasting, what is it called? Durability. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. But this could be pretty good to last against gurus and whatnot, and other wisdom-based attacks. And this has not been converted, but basically it is a sumo wrestler, which is a little, I guess you could say all of these are a little unoriginal in a way, but, it's kind of interesting seeing different things. This guy is a champ class due to high HP, attack, and defense, and has Stampede, which we have seen before. Stampede was actually shown in, actually a while ago. They released a bunch of guys with Stampede. But basically, really high HP, pretty high defense, a little bit lower attack, wisdom and agility are pretty low. So, just pretty much a very durable, high HP guy. Then, this guy is from points, rather than actually winning different siege battle hosts. And you can get pretty much an epic of him evolved not too far into the siege event if you're using a lot of regenerated Nux and whatnot. And he's pretty much just a color swap of Lamenkar, I don't know how to really say his name, this dude. But this guy actually has better stats. They're both champs, high HP, attack, and defense. He has Smash, which is different than, of course, the other guy who has Kibosh All, which is kind of pretty much like Smash All. It really isn't that much different. But basically we have a really high attack, not so high HP, lower defense, high wisdom for whatever reason. It's very strange seeing wisdom being higher than defense on a champ. Low agility, but basically much higher stats overall than their color swap. And then finally, the last guy here, and this is a rank reward, and I'm not really sure who on earth this is, but it doesn't seem like, oh, I think this guy was, this guy who's on a, what is it called, a dragon. You know what, I can actually, no, I didn't want to click that. I can actually open it up on here and show you guys, because it seems that nobody updated the wiki. So I'll quickly go do that right now, because I don't want to leave anything out. Siege event, no, I don't want to look at tips, come on. Is there a way to show the story down here? There we go, leaderboard prizes. Okay, so, let's scroll down a little. Oh, come on, really? You're gonna be that slow now? Bear with me. It does not want to scroll for whatever reason. Come on! I might not be able to show this to you guys after all. It's not working with me here. Oh, there we go. Okay. All at once. Here we go. This is the guy. He's got... Oh, come on. Really? You're gonna do that now? BlueStacks, work with me here. Work with me. Here we go. So you can kind of see him here. His name is... Well, it could be Lunosk or it could be Levnosk. It depends on how you pronounce your W's. A lot of languages have W to actually be a V. So he has Enlighten All, which is a rank 2 natural skill. All shall know the truth in that instant. Nothing is forever. So who really knows what on earth that does? But I guess we'll find out once this guy's actually released. We'll probably have more information about him on the wiki. Or, you know, you might just end up fighting him and get absolutely murdered by his ability, or maybe it's a buff thing, who knows. But he does start out with Smash Adept, so my best guess would be that it is an attack rather than a buff ability. Because if it was a buff ability, which kind of sounds like Enlighten All, the first evolution would probably also have a buff in place. So that's pretty much it with the fighters. Let me try to go through, see if there's anything else that's of any importance here. Yeah, I mean, nothing really of note. That's pretty much all you really need to know about this event, other than the fact that, of course, there are achievements, and there's a build. Oh, here we go! Let's see what the popularity poll has to say, because there's always a popularity poll here, just a little poll to see what people think about the game. So far, people's favorite fighter seems to be the lovely geisha riding Azuna, with the least favorite being the white samurai, which I'm assuming they mean the color swap of Lamenquar or Lamencor or whatever. But personally, my favorite one, just because I'm kind of a dork when it comes to reading the different descriptions of all of the fighters, is of course Ishpa, because, you know, there's so many quotes by Ishpa. We've never seen Ishpa, and then finally he's in the game. So that's kind of my pick for favorite design and favorite character per se here in this event. So that's pretty much all you really need to know about this event, and good luck to everybody, and remember, take down those crystal castles, because 5 Nux bits is always good to have in your pocket. Anyway, take care everyone.